Today is super exciting. Today is the day my son comes home, and been waiting for 6 months. So, hey, I'm already getting emotional. Um, it's awesome when we get to have our family back together, even if it's for a moment, right? You know, just temporarily having both my kids under the same roof again is going to be like astounding. But anyways, I wanted to remind everybody that it doesn't matter what you go through, because this kid went through so much abuse and fought really hard and had to change his mindset. And I've watched him grow and change and become this positive person that when he was younger, he would lash out because of all the hurt that he was holding inside. And the more I would talk to him and the more I would help him understand, you have to let that go. You have to let it flow through you. Don't hold on to it, you know. I watched him make goals. I watched him work his butt off to achieve these goals. And he just turned 18 and he's already has a college degree and is now an E3 in the Air Force. And like I said, worked his butt off. And he's trying so hard to prove I don't have to be that pain that I endured. I don't have to share that with the world. He has learned integrity. He has learned about being responsible. He has learned about achieving things, fighting for it. And he's very proud to stand up for his country, you know. And coming from a father that was a veteran that had a vendetta against everything in life because of what he had endured, what he had thought in his mind was a terrible childhood or whatever it was, demons. But like I always told them, some people aren't strong enough to overcome those challenges. And it's funny when you watch somebody that's so young that's like, I'm not going to be that. I don't have to be that. I don't have to accept that as my reality. Instead, I'm going to turn my mind around and say, you know what, it is what it was, and it's not going to be what it could be, because I can make a difference. And we all have to realize that we all have to make the choice to make the difference, because nobody's going to do it for you. We've all been hurt. We've all been let down. We've all been manipulated. We've all been lied to. We've all had bad things happen. Some people carry that scorn within themselves and they cut themselves short. They turn around and instead of being vulnerable say, you know what, I've had this done to me. Now you're going to feel it. I don't want to feel that way again. Instead, I'm going to share it with all of you. No one wants that kind of gift. No one wants a gift wrapped in barbed wire. You know, nobody wants something that is so broken because there's a refusal to accept that I had no responsibility in it. We all have to understand that we come from certain backgrounds. What happened to us was not our fault. And the more that you can learn, it wasn't your fault. It wasn't even the one that was doing it to you. These are generational abuses that are passed down from one person to the next, and we know no different. And society seems to say those are acceptable. But we ourselves have to change our mindset. And when we change our mindset, at some point we become the person that goes against society's viewpoint of saying, no, that's not acceptable. It's funny when you're out in society and you look around and you see atrocities, right? You see these actions that make your stomach kind of turn. Nobody speaks up. I do. I do it in a joking manner sometimes, depending on who I'm speaking to. But when you become that whistleblower, when you become that scout that says, I see you, I see what you're doing, it's not okay. You know, when you become that person that finds that courage to start correcting society, you become bigger than the atrocities. But when you start calling them out, You know, I heard one time, you have to let the devil know you see him. You have to say, I see what you're doing to me, and I'm not going to allow it. And I witnessed that firsthand myself when we were having to live in a hotel. And there was this woman that would come out every day, and man, she was a tough looking lady. And she tried to be sweet, but then she'd start saying certain things and tearing me down. And I was like, oh, here I thought you were a sweet old lady, and now I see you for what you are. What do you mean? I see the devil inside of you. She moved away. I didn't see her about 3-4 days later. She was gone. And it's almost like, there goes another one. We have to learn not to entertain the beast. We have to learn not to become the beast. Because the reality of life is everything can change us to be bitter. Everything can make us want to go out and, in a way, justify our own way of being. But when it comes down to it, if you're acting in a manner that's not uplifting, then you're entertaining the devils in which you had to endure in your youth. At some point, we have to realize we can become the ones that created our pain, or we can overcome that which they brought into our lives. I used to have to ask my son, do you remember how it felt when that happened to you? Did you like that feeling? And I would even tell him, you don't have to answer me out loud. This is for you to think about. This is something for you to understand. You can continue on in life like this, but where are you going to be? Are you going to become the person that you despise? Or are you going to choose to be better than that? Are you going to choose to walk in a lighted path? Or are you going to have the darkness surrounding you and live in fear and hate and anger for the rest of your life? The choice is yours. Because we have to pick and choose. Every day we pick and choose what we entertain, what we consume, how we speak about others, if we uplift, if we tear down. The choice is ours. And everything we do outside of ourselves is everything that's happening internally. And it's going to reflect back. Karma is real. It's almost a roller coaster that goes around and around. If you speak people down, you will pull yourself down. You will meet those energies later on in life that you put out. Because remember, we're energetic beings. When we put that energy out, we are now attracting it back. It might take a while to get back to you. And then when it finally comes, are you the victim or do you remember what you did? You might have been in an altered state of mind, a different consciousness at the time in which you put it out. Because there's afterthought and there's forethought. The more that you practice in forethought, the more that you consciously put out into the universe what you want to receive back. If you go around in pain and blame others rather than seeing it didn't happen to me, it happened for me. Mindset. Because you can become someone that's great, someone that changes the world for the better, or you can stay in that darkness that you fear. What's more comfortable? Walking around in the dark or walking around in the light? Hey, how's it going? What's up? Smiles are so much better than glares. Because there's a sense of comfort that comes with one, and there's a sense of worry that comes with the other. And when you live in that darkness, at some point you don't even feel regret anymore. You don't even look at your actions and go, I wish I wouldn't have done that. That's the sad part. The more you get shrouded in that darkness, the less you care. The less you care about yourself, the less you care about the nature that gives you life, the less you care about the animals that are here with us. The less you care about even what you choose on a daily basis. There's no longer goals. There's no longer aspirations. When you can't even feel regret or remorse, you've gotten pretty far into the pain of what you think happened to you. I've lived a life that People look at me and they're like, I would have never guessed. No need to guess. We can overcome that pain. It takes work. When someone said, I want to be as confident as you, I haven't always been this way. I was with somebody for 16 years that their sole duty was to tear me down and destroy me. And when he couldn't do that, he focused on my children, our children. That gave me the courage to say, no, this is where it stops. You do not get to do that to them. You tried it with me, good try. You will not destroy them. I will work my tail off to make sure you can't touch them. It's been worth every tear, the bloodshed, the blisters, the exhaustion, because my son's coming home in a changed heart. One he chose. You have to ask yourself, what are you willing to choose? What are you willing to do? Because you can change your life and you can change the world. But it does start with you. I'm going to leave it on that note because I'm getting way too emotional. So, peace, love, and light, and have an awesome day. Find the beauty in it. Spread it around.